We're taking a look at the new weapon REAVER here on the test server. Let's check the perk. High damage and rate of fire plus fast reload speed make REAVER consistently deadly at mid-range or closer. Now that's only if you define mid-range as 60 meters because this does not have mid-range capabilities. This is exclusively a close-range assault weapon, but indeed they were correct. It has a very, very short reload time. I have to say, I do appreciate the design of this thing. It looks kind of interesting. Let's go. All right. Oh, okay. 1, 2. It seems about like 1 second unload time, which is pretty good. I did some quick math before recording, you know, as I do, and it's like 1.5 maybe seconds. This gives it damage output comparable to minigun-ish. Obviously, not quite the same, but this is good damage output. This is going to be really good damage output with essentially no reload time. But the problem is that you don't have a long-term reload, but you do have short-term reload. You have constant short-term reload. You have only about like 1.5 seconds of damage before. Get out of here, buddy. I'm probably dead here. Yeah. Alright, let's see. I probably should have put my ability range on here, but whatever. I got a bit of spread. I forgot 60 meters maximum range is ridiculous, bro. I mean, I do have a range implant on here, I think, but it's only level 3. The max, like at max level, the legendary range implant only gives you 30% and not 50%. Any, like, moderately self-respecting range implant will always give you 50%. I don't know why this one doesn't, especially given how completely bogus the range is, the base range. It absolutely should. Don't you freaking do it, Killshot. You're absolute hooligan. Alright. He knows. You get here. There's panthers everywhere. I like this a lot, though. I like this a lot. I don't think it's going to necessarily be great on something like Parasite, necessarily, because, yeah, that's the thing. It's like, what are you going to use this on? You have like a quarter second. It's basically a better repeater as far as I'm concerned. Because you have really quick unload time, decent damage output, but then unlike repeater, you don't have to freaking... You don't have all of your damage output going to crap the moment that your ammo runs out. You just have like a 1 second reload and then back at it. So I definitely prefer this over repeater. There's maybe some things I could do decently with it, but I don't know. Alright, so here's where I think it could get interesting. I got it on Vortex now. Vortex is one of those mechs that really likes to have extremely sustained fire weapons, but also doesn't really like the high reload time of minigun quite so much. Well, and also there's multiple other downsides that doesn't quite do Vortex justice. So this might be a pretty good weapon. And the speed of Vortex, especially during the ability, could help mitigate the really low freaking range of Revoker Shadow. Could help mitigate the really low range of this weapon. So we might be in business here. Let's see though. 2, 1. I gotta kill this guy quickly. Yeah, it's decent damage. It's definitely decent damage. There's a bit of spread on this as well, in case you didn't know, which means that even at 60 meters, which is my maximum range, I'm not doing a whole lot of damage. A lot of them are missing, which is not super ideal, but it is a thing that happens. Hello. Oh, those mines might kill me, actually. Now I have it on Nomad, which is a bit more of a close-range brawler type thing. The thing with this is that, like, pretty obviously, Revoker's just gonna be better, right? Like, there's no reason to use this on Nomad instead of Revoker, with the exception of just the fact that you want to, right? It's not gonna be better. It's decent. It looks like it's doing pretty good, actually, and it seems to pair rather nicely. But again, like, you know, between the two, like, I'd say Revoker's pretty objectively better for this kind of mech. But with that said, really nice work it's doing here. I am... I might just kind of kamikaze this. Hello. How are you? Oh, hold on. Let's go. Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. Oh, okay. Alright, so now we have it on Eclipse. Excuse you. This is pretty much just an obligatory spawn. Like, probably every other content creator already did it on Eclipse. It could be decent. Probably, certainly worse than Revoker, again. But, it's interesting. I decided to actually take off the range on this one. Because I realized it was only giving me like 8 meters. Something like that. And Eclipse can do pretty good with 3 ability implants. I'm using only level 3 legendaries just because I don't want to, like, super stack it. Obviously, I'm not using maxed builds here. But at some point, when we get a heavier energy version, I will definitely be using it at max level to see how well it goes. This is more of just baseline here. Okay. This versus Overdriver, yeah. Constant versus repeater as well. Yeah, okay, fair enough. I'm gonna wait until you're a little bit more behind cover here. Yeah, alright. And with the damage boost. I can get 2 magazines off here, and then just teleport back. I have constant damage output if I need it, but I don't really need it. The thing with minigun on Seeker, which is like a thing that you could do, it's not necessarily the best idea, because you have to spin up your barrels, which you actually can spin up your barrels before teleporting. It's just kind of difficult. It's not particularly easy. But this gets rid of all of those, you know, random downsides from minigun. This is working actually surprisingly well. Like, I thought maybe it would be okay, but I did not think it was going to be that good. Let's see, what are you, though? Oh, right. I can kill you. I can kill you. Alright, fine. I should have been looking at the minimap, because, I'm not gonna lie, I thought that I would be teleporting behind the Guardian as well. Hold on. These guys all have the Hunter's Mark on them. Let's go. I mean, I'm not gonna be able to capture it. This is going very interestingly. Oh yeah, get out of your stupid kill. I mean, the damage at 60 meters is decent. Like, I don't think there's a huge amount of damage loss, but there is definitely damage loss. Oh, hello there. Hello there, Mr. Guy with the Javelin Rex. This is doing great. I mean, like, it's another case of, like, pretty objectively better with Revoker. Which is sad, because, like, I really want to find a mech that would be better with this than it would with any other weapon, right? Like, that's the goal, is to find a mech that where this is the ideal weapon, just to see if one exists, right? 11 kills with it, not bad. This is, of course, without mods. If you include mods, more than likely this thing's going to fall off really heavily, because your ammo is 15 and you're shooting really fast. So, like, more than likely, it's gonna be similar to Repeater, where, like, it's gonna take down the, like, a perimeter multi-layer type shield really quickly, but then it's not gonna do pretty much anything after that. Alright, on Surge now, pretty much another obligatory one. It's pretty objectively going to do the job of Revoker worse than Revoker does, right? And I'd say the same thing with Minigun as well. So it has less damage output than Minigun does, but it has a much quicker reload. Nice, that's decent, that's decent. And it's gonna have less killing, like less close quarters killing power. I really am kind of disappointed in the fact that it has such short range, because if it had, let's say, 80 meters max range as opposed to 60, I think it could be significantly better. I think it could be like a weapon that people might actually use. But as it is, I kind of don't see anyone using it strictly because of the range. Forces you within Revoker range. Anyone within Revoker range dies to Revokers, guaranteed. I know you suck. Oh. Alright, so we have it on Sentinel now, just for the sake of trying it on some epic mechs here. Right, yeah, I got you. But, yeah, this is clearly going to be, like, sort of a brawler-ish type weapon. The sort of thing that you'd want to put on, most likely, tanks. The benefit of this weapon over any other weapon is, you know, pretty obviously really quick reload and decent damage output. So it's most ideally used on mechs that have really high uptime and need constant damage output and relatively decent range. Like Revoker also has constant damage output, but it suffers in terms of range. So because this has somewhat decent range, I could see it being used on something like a tank, but I couldn't see it being used on something like a scout, because a scout can close the distance really easily, and it just doesn't make sense to use it on that. Okay, get out of here, nerd. Oh, he's just completely ignoring me. That's kind of personal, actually. Alright, so using a less crappy epic tank, we got Aegis here. I'm gonna not drop my dome immediately. Yeah, I forgot. Freaking range on this, dude. It's crazy. The lack of range, I should say. Okay, I got you. I should mention there's like 70% double damage chance on this weapon, which I don't think is something that I said anything about earlier, but yeah. A lot of double damage chance. Which is kind of annoying because it's a way of increasing the damage that gets fully absorbed by Galvanic Hull, which just makes the weapon objectively worse. And that's not super great. There's still a landmine there, I don't really want to... Okay, here we go. Hi. How are ya? Alright, here we go. Hey, fellas. I'll mess you up. I mean, probably not, though, actually. Not that guy. He's staying. He's keeping his distance. You know, oh, no. I don't know why, but I feel like this would do actually pretty decent on Guardian, so I got it on Guardian. I don't know if I'm going to survive right now, but... Wait, hold on. Nice. The system crash gives me a couple seconds to deal some damage, which can get me multiple magazines, actually. That might be pretty good. I have the level 3 range implant, ability range implant on here. I don't know how much that gives me, to be honest, though. Okay, yeah, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine. Get out of here, dude. Oh, right. Savant. Alright, so overall, I think it feels like a pretty decent weapon. I really, really do like the feel of it. The fire rate especially, 15 projectiles, fired really, really quickly, especially with heavier energy variants of this weapon. Will probably take down multi-layered shields of certain mechs quicker than Revoker can. And with a really quick reload speed, if you can take them down fully with like 2 magazines, for example, this could be a really good weapon and a somewhat potential replacement for Revoker. I don't want to say it outright. I don't want to say it's going to be like a replacement for Revoker, because you still have that full second of damage downtime while you're reloading, which it's just 1 second. Doesn't sound like a lot. In terms of reload time, that's not a lot of time, but in terms of Revoker hitting you, 1 second is plenty. So I'm not going to say it's going to outright replace Revoker. Almost certainly nothing will, but I will say that it could replace Revoker on certain mechs. It could be a slightly better option than Revoker on certain mechs, and that is very interesting. I'm still not super sure how I feel about the 60 meters maximum range. Once again, you have the legendary range implant, but that only gives you 30% at max, which only gets you to, that only gets you to 78 meters, which I guess is better than 60, but still not great. And yeah, as I mentioned earlier, double damage chance of 70, hit cone of 2, so 2 degrees from the center line is where the hit cone is, and that's pretty bad spread. A minigun spread, for example, is 2.4, and everyone knows that minigun spread is pretty bad. So yeah, but I mean, you're confined within close range anyway, so most likely a lot of your shots are still gonna hit, to be completely fair. And yeah, I mean, that's about as much as I have to say about it. Let me know what you guys think. I think this is very interesting and has the potential to be better than Revoker on certain mechs and against certain mechs. But that's just me, and that's just me spitballing. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this, what your predictions are. And otherwise, that will be it from me. Appreciate y'all. Take care.